So hi guys, this is Kathy at the third chapter, and today I'm really excited because I get to interview two juice enthusiasts.
Hey!
Today we have Ayla Lewis and Jeanette Genson, and they'll be sharing with us a little bit about their story towards juicing and what it's meant in their lives. So I thought it'd be good if we started off a little bit with your background. Can you tell me how you guys met each other?
Oh yeah, definitely. We met in community college, but we both did running start. So we were high school age, but in college. It was my second year and Jeanette's first, and we sat next to each other. She sat next to me, and then that happened like 2 days, and then on the third day I moved to the back of the classroom, and she came in, and we had never talked, but I saw her and I kind of waved her back, like, oh, there's that girl that's been sitting next to me. So we chatted, and then she
She didn't want to hang out with me.
Oh, uh-huh.
she invited me to coffee like twice, and I had a boyfriend, and I was, running around. I was just like, yeah, sometime we'll just talk in class.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I said, you know what? Let's go to coffee after class. And we sat down, and I think we talked for like 4 hours, and we found out we knew all the same people. We had been living in the same town and had never met, and we could read each other's minds practically, even though we had only known each other for a few days and had only talked for a few hours. We were pretty much inseparable. After that, we just hung out all the time, and best friends ever since, I guess.
Great. And tell me a little bit what college was like for each of you guys.
Will you take this one?
College was awesome. Well, that class was my very first day of school ever. I was homeschooled my entire life. So that was just a huge change for me. I kind of, at that point, got a job away from my parents' businesses and started school. So it was a big step of independence for me. And we had a really great time. We were kind of, when we were together, we were really charismatic, and everybody just loved being around us. So we just started hanging out with a lot of people, and basically throughout the years, we just got more and more into partying as well as school. But we were always really involved on campus. We were both presidents of clubs. We were both really high in our classes, and after a while. She was always really good at school. I was kind of teetering for a while on the academics, but basically we kind of look back and it was such a great time, and we don't have any regrets about college, but we definitely think there are some things that we could have done differently. Mainly our health. I think that we would have made some different decisions, maybe hung out with some different people who would have had a slightly more positive kind of influence on our lives. And I don't even know, who knows if I would have even had a different major if I was kind of giving myself the right nutrients, because I love my major and I love communications, but kind of after being out of college, I'm really into community health and getting the word out about health, and I just kind of should have taken at least a class or something, but it was definitely a great time, and we loved it, and we met some amazing people, and it was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Yeah.
Great. And so you were saying that there were some health challenges or just some health repercussions from the lifestyle that you were living. What would you say your health was like at that time, like when you finished college or?
We ate fast food every day. Every day we had friends who were literally like, you eat cheeseburgers 3 times a day. And we just thought it was hilarious. We didn't...
Only soda.
Only soda.
I only drank soda for years.
Jeanette wouldn't drink water. She just thought it tasted weird. And I grew up not having to eat my vegetables or anything. I could just sort of say I don't want that. So at 18, 19, 20, I was like, no, I won't try. I didn't eat, foods from other areas around the world. It was very pizza, cheeseburgers, potatoes, meat. That is what I like. Which led to, I think, us just being tired a lot, not making
really
clear
groggy,
decisions.
Really groggy all the time, just almost hazy, just didn't know what we were doing really, and I'm sure that had a lot to do with the alcohol. We were, above everything, we were really dependent on alcohol for years, so I think just kind of everything put together, and we were really, our skin was gray. A big difference was our hair. We used to flat iron our hair all the time, and along with not having those nutrients, our hair was a completely different consistency. Like a year ago, we went in and they just said that they had to cut off the whole thing because we had been killing our hair with no nutrients. So it was just, it was kind of like all of those years of bad decisions were catching up with us, and we felt horrible. We didn't look good. We didn't really like ourselves. And we were just kind of in this weird phase in our lives where we were like, what happened here? It was all so great, and now it just feels wrong.
Yeah, and we both got jobs that were, steady jobs. They were very supportive, good, okay pay after college, but we realized we were still making all those unhealthy decisions, and so we weren't necessarily who we were supposed to be, or our full selves in our jobs or outside of them, because we just didn't have good things coming in, so good things weren't coming out.
Okay. And how did you discover juicing?
Really, well, it was, I would say, a little over half a year into our health journey. Like, we had learned about, not eating as much meat. We had learned about some of the, animal products and fast food and processed food. And we got Netflix when we moved to Portland. And so we started watching documentaries all the time. And Food Matters, and then Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. And I would say Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead and the Gerson Miracle. Mm-hmm. Those three, we watched them all about the same time, and we became obsessed, essentially, with juicing and with what it could do. And we had never juiced before. We didn't even have a juicer.
Telling people, all of our coworkers, we were like, you have to juice. They were like, are you juicing?
We're like, no.
It's coming.
Telling everyone, do you have a juicer? Why don't you use it? It's so great. You have to be using it. But we didn't even have one. But then luckily her sister, Jeanette's sister, came into town to visit us, and we were telling her how much we love juicing. And so right before she left to go back home, we all stopped by, and she bought us a juicer. And it's just a Fred Meyer, Jack LaLanne juicer. She brought us home, showed us how to use it, and we've juiced every day since.
And how long ago was that, approximately?
That was August of 2014.
Okay.
So, under a year ago.
Yeah. And what would you say is your favorite juice?
Oh my gosh. Well, the one that we created, the everyday juice, I would say that is probably my favorite, just because I've just grown so attached to it, and I'm so protective over it because there's so many different ingredients, and everybody is just like, okay, but why? And I'm just like, I don't know, but they're all important in their own way. I think the cabbage is important that we have every day. She used to have stomach issues, and after all of that drinking, I had such bad heartburn and acid reflux. It had gotten bad enough that I couldn't exercise. Drinking water gave me heartburn, and our favorite drink was Four Loko mixed with vodka. So that would probably tear some stuff up, but we just the juice just helped us. It just started healing us, and so I think that it was everything. It was the carrots and the zucchini, and so for people who don't know, the everyday juice has 8 ingredients or something like that.
Well, maybe we can post it below the video.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone can see. But that's my favorite juice.
When we kind of found that we were doing a 3-2-1 thing: 3 vegetables, 2 fruits, and 1 green. So that's essentially the everyday juice. It's carrots, courgette, or zucchini. We call it courgette. So carrot, courgette, and beet, and then maybe a little apple and pear, and then some kale. And so it's got 6 things, but it's just packed with all those different vitamins and nutrients and all of that. So that's really good. I think my favorite right now is our afternoon juice, but that's just because it's carrots and ginger and apple, and sometimes throw an orange in. So it's when I'm at work or when we're out and you're getting hungry and it's 2:30, and that's when you're going to stop by a food cart. And we are huge fans of food carts, so it's really hard to not justify, let's try out that new one and support this local business. And so when we have that juice, it's energy hit, nutrient hit, and you're good to go until dinner.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that you sort of had a healing journey, juice came in as a part of that. Do you want to tell us anything more about that healing journey, or even part of what I want to also hear is the contrast of what you felt like before versus after you began your healing journey, or what part juice played in that?
Yeah. I would say the whole journey really started just by learning. Like when we started asking questions, of just like, wait, what is food really, and what food is good for you? So it started with not eating red meat, and then not eating chicken, and it was a dual thing. Like we learned about the healthiness of food, but at the same time we were learning about the environment and the economic impact of those companies, or of the the sales process, the supply chain. And so some things we changed because the environmental and economic and like social impact was so negative that we weren't going to do it, and some things we changed because of the food. And juicing ties both of those things together for us, because when we buy fresh fruits and vegetables from local farmers or from local businesses and farm stands, then we're supporting that, we're supporting the environment, which is like, it's a mind healing sort of thing too. That is part of the healing, is that consciousness, and then also the confidence and advocacy that comes from making those decisions, and they're decisions that make you healthier from the inside out too.
Yeah, and I think also with the healing, like from then and now, I remember like we were so ambitious, and when we started getting healthier, we really wanted to start making big changes, but the energy was not really there for it. And I think the motivation, all of it, we were just still at 6 o'clock at night, we just wanted to sit down and not do anything. And so we were just kind of like, well, when is that going to change? Like, when are we going to get that motivation? When are we going to want to get up? Because we listened to entrepreneurs and all these people who were like, you have that fire to go do something at midnight. And we were just like, but I don't. And so I think after the juicing and giving it time and really noticing all the changes, because if you just juice and you don't really pay attention, then it seems like nothing's happening. And then you're probably less willing to do it. But if you just keep at it and really notice, like, oh, but I feel a little better, or my skin's a little better, or something like that. And then after a couple months of consistently doing it, like we have energy until like 9 o'clock at night now.
And past, like we have to,
it's hard to go to sleep.
We just had a conversation last night of we've held ourselves to this set bedtime so we can get up, but we're realizing how much energy we really have. And are we limiting ourselves by saying, oh, well, we have to go to sleep now so we can have to get up? But it's like, wait, no, we have this vitality, our minds are running, and we have all this want. And so really embracing that and juicing, I think, is causing that energy and also allowing us to be aware enough to embrace it. Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. And so how long did it take for you to notice some of the changes? You mentioned it wasn't maybe right away.
I would say, let's see, probably 3 months for us to really start telling people about the changes. Like we were super excited about juicing and we had started doing it, but around December is when we were like, we heard about an opportunity to talk about it, and we're like, we got to go show people how to juice. We got to start telling people how amazing this is and how it really does lead to tangible improvements in your life. And then just since then it's been growing.
And also after that amount of time, you start wanting to taste those vegetables and those fruits all the time. So like I started craving fruit every night before I went to sleep, whereas before I craved sweets, really, really sweet sweets. And so then I just like had to make a fruit salad every night. And so, but it was after that time, it was around December, January, February. And we also just started craving vegetables like for dinner, like raw ones. And we started eating a lot more raw food. So I think it not only like did we start to feel better, but it literally started to change our diet. So that's when we started seeing big changes.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, tell us about your new business, Generation Juice.
Yeah. All right. So Generation Juice, we started just this month, and we're really all about teaching people the power of juicing every day. And we do this by doing demos, which Kathy's been to. And in those demos, we talk about the benefits and how to do it, actually juicing, but also what I was saying, the economic and the environmental impact. and just that aware mindset.
And to keep it local.
To keep
as
it
often
local.
as possible.
And we've done a couple demos, and we're set up. We'll be doing a street fair. We'll be part of 2 street fairs this summer, and that will be really great. And one will be a kids booth also. So we'll be doing adult demos, but also juicing with kids. And I have 2 education degrees, so that will just be super fun to get to do a little lesson planning and have those fun activities. And we also just did our first 2-on-1 juice coaching, where we come to your house and we send out some questions before just to learn a little bit about you, and then we all come together, talk about how you juice, how you'd like to juice, questions, fears, and get you on an everyday juicing plan so that you can start to experience all of those benefits. And some support, like we text.
He's still juicing.
We just got a text last night, like, what are you doing to me, with a full glass of juice? So it's really great.
Great. So 2-on-1, in somebody's home, also doing demos. What about in businesses?
Yes, in businesses. We've yet to do this, but we're very excited about going in and doing healthy workplace workshops, where we'll come in and we'll do a juice demo and talk about juicing, and also just the benefits of eating healthy and making healthy choices, because that really does transition over to the workforce, and it transitions to your whole day. Our work is better because we're juicing and because we're getting those nutrients and vitamins. And also we can arrange to leave a juicer. So come with one, show you how to use it, leave it there, and connect you with local organic grocery deliveries so that you could get a juice box, say, delivered to your office every week. So there's no extra time needed, just when you're in the break room, juice up a little juice, show you how to rinse it, and you're good to go.
Great. Yeah. And juice parties. We really want to do juice parties because we just think that would be so fun if, like, people or whatever, how many people, go to someone's home, have a little party, make a bunch of juice, learn about it. Who knows?
Yeah, and we actually had someone recommend juice parties to us, but we were thinking about it, and it's like that social support. Like, if you want to juice, but none of your friends are juicing, and you want to make it fun for them and help them to understand why you're doing this, do a juice party. Call us. We'll come in, get your friends together. Everyone will learn about juicing together. Everyone will have fun, get to try juice, and then everyone who's been at your party is now you're already your friends, and they're your support to be juicing every day, and you can hold each other accountable and really just experience that together with your friends or family.
Great. Well, I just want to thank you both for coming. It's really clear that juice has made a big difference in your life, and I just appreciate what you're doing out there to share the word with other people.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.